training students for spoken English.
So we are live.
Okay. Starting your own perhaps kind of business that you can teach people. Prepare for the competitive exams or
So we are live. Okay.
in literature as well as so yes, that's what I think of right. How can I be your second part of your question? How can I be IITs for my research? I think yes, that would be that's what I think of right. How can I be the second part of the question? How can I be IITs for my research? I think yes, that would be that's what I think of right. How can I be the second part of the question? I think for my research. I think
I'm in the middle of meeting. I'm in a meeting. So hello everyone. Before we get queries, I would just like to give you a background of this course. So this climate hazards and disaster mitigation is a very unique course. So in this course, we have thoughtfully designed various modules which give you information about the various climate hazards. So the major climate hazards can be categorized into two, that is temperature based hazards and rainfall based hazards. So in temperature based hazard, heat waves and cold waves are more predominant, while in rainfall based hazards, we have floods and droughts, and often cyclones, which result due to excess precipitation resulting from the changes in the oceanic pressure and temperature. So we provide a very structured guidance on how to deal with hydroclimatic data, geospatial data in analyzing climate hazards, define different kinds of hazards, what are the ways for analysis of hazards, and their mitigation measures, which we are dealing in very detail. So just to begin with, the initial modules focused on explaining what is hazard, risk, vulnerability. Then we move on to how to handle data and process those data. Then our next point was we discuss floods at length, where we discuss about what types of floods, flood frequency analysis. Then we discuss urban floods. Then we discuss compound floods, which is a relatively new phenomena where more than one drivers of flood come together. And then at the end, we propose several flood mitigation measures. This course throughout has been giving a hands-on experience along with the theoretical concepts, and we are providing lecture notes as well as transcripts for the or for the benefit of the audience. After floods, we move on to droughts, where we focused on what are the droughts, types of droughts, their characterization, and again their mitigation measures. Here we specially focused on the role of nature-based solution that that are helpful for designing drought mitigation measures. And then we moved on to heat waves and cold waves, because we are here at the brisk of summer, and we can see there is considerable heating right now only. So these heat waves are escalating, so how we cater to those and what are the mitigation measures. And then in the last end, we focus on disaster mitigation, where we study different kinds of frameworks for disaster mitigation. We learn how to formulate a heat action plan, flood emergency evacuation plan, and disaster mitigation guidelines. And lastly, we provide some advanced topics which will be helpful for research. So overall, it is a immersive learning based 12-week course which we have designed, and this course will cater to your demands, grow that is pertaining to your academic demands, industry related demands, and other demands. So this was a brief overview about the course. Uh, if you have any specific queries regarding the contents you have referred to the course, we will be happy to discuss. So please post your queries in the chat and we can discuss the same. Okay, so we have a question from A. Ranjan. Why does the Himalaya state have frequent disaster like avalanche, and how technology mitigates it? Answering your query, see, Himalayas are very fragile ecosystem. If we talk in specific about Himalayas, due to global warming, the glaciers are melting at a very accelerated rate. So the glacier mass is becoming more and more unstable, and due to that, avalanches are very frequent in that area. We conducted several studies, and we found that the heating of the Himalayas is going on disproportionately, while the cold extremes, they are sort of diminishing, because global temperatures are on the rise. So that is why these kinds of disasters, maybe avalanches, landslides, or even cloudbursts, that have become very frequent in the Himalayas. Now, how technology mitigates it? So, because we cannot, in person go and do measurements there, so we resort to geospatial technologies, that is, use of satellite data. And using that satellite data, we capture the mass movement of the glaciers. So once the mass movement of glaciers is noted, we can clearly see if the glacier is moving at a very faster speed, then there is certain risk or threat with that. So again, when the summer peaks in, the melting is accelerated, that melting is also accounted, that because there are some relationship which are developed, temperature versus the glacier melt, and those relationships are used to see the triggering point, that if this temperature exceeds a particular threshold, then that can trigger avalanche, or it could lead to more risk. And that is how, using extensively geospatial technology along with some field model data, we are trying to develop early warning systems that can forecast such kind of events like GLOF. That there is one more event called GLOF, that is glacial lake outburst floods. So even that we are monitoring. If you recall, the 2013 Kedarnath event, and recently in 2024, or probably the Sikkim floods, they were the result of GLOF failure. So GLOF monitoring is also one of the important aspects and focus areas of the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, because that has been a very gray area, and now a lot of sensors and remote sensing observations are being put into practice to mitigate such disasters. I hope I have answered your question satisfactorily. If you have further queries, you may post it again. I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so we have again a follow-up by A. Ranjan. So, glacial lake outburst flood recently seen in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh and northeastern state. How local people are impacted by this, and have any government policy? So regarding government policy, it is whenever any disaster happens, if you see the disaster structure, we have NDMA, that is National Disaster Management Agency, which takes care of all the policy making for the any kind of disaster. So NDMA provides guidelines which are standard for any disasters, maybe flood, heat waves, globs, etc. And there are again under this disaster management setup, there is NDRF, which is called National Disaster Relief Force, and again state has a SDMA, that is State Disaster Management Authority, and State Disaster Response Force. So the role is very distinct. The response force caters to such situation that if any natural hazard happens, then the force will go there and do evacuation work. But the policy making is solely with the SDMA or NDMA. Now, regarding the impact, so the glacial lake outburst flood was so severe. There are several dams on the Tista River that got significantly damaged because of this, because it could not handle that much volume. So I do not recall the exact figures how much economic and loss of lives was there, but it was a very devastating effect in the past 60-70 years of the Sikkim state. So government, that is why as a policy measure, government is escalating and making it more making more investments to monitor these kind of hazards, so that an early warning system can be in place, and we can give early warnings which can mitigate this hazard. So we cannot stop on nature's fury, but definitely we can reduce the exposure by evacuating people if timely alerts are given. For example, in our course also we had discussed a very success story of the Odisha cyclone. So Odisha, which was one prone to cyclone, but as a policy measure, we have got this early warning cyclone system. So now the evacuation happens very systematically, and in the past 8-10 years, the cyclones that have struck the Odisha coast, we have got very minimum casualty in terms of loss of lives, because the people were evacuated much earlier, and the loss of lives could have been a loss of lives were saved. So this is how the government uses both technology as well as study of this climate phenomena, how the climate is evolving and how the policies have to evolve to cater to such things, and the actionable outcomes are suggested. So I think that's the response from my end. Let me know if you want further clarifications.
So I think that was clear.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, any more queries or questions, you feel free to ask.
So, other than the syllabus, I would like to know much about examination.
Okay. So examination would be a online pattern. So it will be an MCQ based examination. So it will have questions from your assignments. So I mean, approximately, one third of the questions will be from your assignments. Again, one third of them will be same as the assignment, but there can be some minor modifications. And then there will be some other questions which will be a blend of the concepts because you have studied the entire course. So it will be an MCQ based pattern. So it will be an online mode. You have to go to a center, and there the exam will be conducted. So that is as per the NPTEL standards.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So how many modules you have completed, Aparna, so far? How many weeks?
7.
7. So what is your feedback? What is the
It's
difficulty
completed.
level? Is the difficulty level okay, or enough? The material provided is enough. What is your feedback so far?
I would say, I think I was mainly focusing on theory part rather than calculation and all these things. And I was like, God, I have all these things to focus on.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I was, I think I was actually focusing on something else, and I should also give a chance to this course as I saw. I felt it's quite important in the current scenario, considering the kind of flooding and all thing happening. And as I said, the thing I was more focused on was the theory part, just
Okay.
the theory. Uh, but
So
one thing I
the
actually
background.
understood from your lectures was that
Okay.
you actually gave us the understanding about QGIS and all these tools, to how to use all those tools. And uh, then I actually thought about our high school days when all these things, yeah, we have learned QGIS, we have learned presentation, all these things, but we never actually understood the importance or how actually we could use this in our daily life.
Okay.
So I think your lectures actually made us understand about how it can be used in a practical scenario. That was
Okay.
good.
So Aparna, what is your background, current education background?
Well, I completed my PG in English,
Okay.
um,
So
and I'm pursuing
how
some.
do you associate with this course? Because English is more on the literature side, and this course is
Yeah.
more on the scientific domain. So how do you connect that?
Well, I think I don't have much of a ground between science and arts. I completed my higher secondary in science field itself, and
Okay.
I have cleared with UG twice.
Okay.
So I don't think. Okay.
That's nice because people from diverse backgrounds also cater to these kind of subjects. So that is more overwhelming to see because some of these things are very common, but some are really scientific into things. So if diverse background students are also enrolling for this course, so maybe that can give them newer perspectives into the latest happenings.
Okay. That's right. Well, sir, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank
I
you. Thank
suppose
you
that.
so. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. If you have any queries, I'll be happy to take them. So please share your queries in the chat box.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Hello. Yeah.
sir, can we end the live, sir?
Yeah, I think we can end the live.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.